What is up, guys? It has been quite a while since we've done a video like this. However, I got a few new Coleman lanterns for my birthday, and the one we're going to be taking a look at today is actually from Josiah, the guy who's holding the camera for this video. So what he actually ended up getting for me was this Coleman 285A dual fuel lantern. This is actually the first lantern I have ever owned that has its plastic carrying case with it. And really quick, I'll show you how that works. So you set the lantern on the base just like that, and then the lid kind of just closes over it just like that, and the pull tabs pop out over the push tabs at the bottom. And just like that, it's in its case, ready to be carried. So another thing you're gonna notice about this lantern is it's quite a bit smaller than your usual 220 or 228. As you can see right here, I've got a 220B with the big hat on it. It's not really the best size comparison, but it'll still give you a pretty good idea of the difference anyway, just looking at the height difference between these two lanterns. This is currently the newest lantern I have in my collection. It was built in September of 2014, and because of that, it didn't really need any work to get it going. So I'm just gonna go ahead and light it for you and give you a look at the light output. Now, another difference between this lantern and the older 220s and 228s and 200s and stuff like that is the valve. You'll notice that this isn't a gate valve that you crank open until it stops. It's more similar to the Schrader valves on the 275. You turn it right to about here to get it lit, and then once it's burning just about like that, that's when you go ahead and open it all the way and have it burn like this. However, this is a dimmable lantern, I guess you'd call it. As you can see, it keeps burning pretty well all the way down to here. You can still hear the gas flowing through it, but most of the time I prefer to just keep it all the way up at full brightness. Here's the lantern kind of just burning away on the table right here, and as you can see, the light output of this thing is actually pretty impressive. I don't know what the deal is, but the dual fuel lanterns, even this little tiny one right here, seems to burn a lot brighter than any of my 220s and maybe even the 200A. I'd have to put those two side by side to actually figure that out though. You might be able to tell, but the generator on this thing, because it's a dual fuel, is quite a bit thicker than the 220s and 228s and 200A of years previous. However, we've also got two Peerless thorium mantles in here, which definitely does contribute to the light output of this lantern. Yeah, props to Josiah for the smooth transition in the video.
As I mentioned before, there's a pair of Peerless thorium mantles in here. I got those because I wanted to try them. I heard that they're brighter than your standard yttrium mantles, and I've noticed a big difference. So with the thorium mantles, you have more of a white with a green tinge for the light, while with your yttrium ones, at least with the Peerless, the Coleman seem to burn a little bit whiter than the Peerless ones, but on average, it seems like the yttrium mantles have a little more of a yellow light output, and I just prefer the super bright white. On top of that, with these dual fuel, these more modern, I think starting in the mid to late 80s, Coleman went from the leather pump cup to a rubber one, but here we switch it over to leather. I had a couple spares. That's one of the first things I do. I have, I want to say 5 modern production lanterns, and every single one of them, one of the first things I did was switch this to a leather one, because on my dad's 288, rubber went bad on it. We had to get a new pump cup. While with these, you just put some oil on them, call it a day, and they're good to go. So if anyone gets these, I highly recommend getting just a leather replacement, popping that in there. It's super easy, and they last a lot longer. Starting in, I believe, the early 90s, Coleman switched to this plastic design for this cap here. So personally, I'm not a huge fan, just because I'd rather have metal. It's a little tougher, should last longer. But nice thing with these is you can just twist them off, and they come right off. One thing I noticed with my 2022 made lanterns is I actually went back to the old style, which I prefer. So it's kind of cool to have both, but overall I do prefer the metal, just because to me it seems more durable. But this is, I guess, a little bit more convenient, but usually you have to get some pliers in these grooves here pop it open, but it is easier than having to pry off the little bar. So it's kind of nice, but overall I just think it kind of feels cheap.
So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Before we end off the video though, I am going to go ahead and turn this off and show you guys how long it takes for it to kind of burn itself out. It actually burns out pretty quick, as you guys can see right here. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed watching this Coleman video. It's been just about a year since we've done a video like this. However, if you want to see like 27 or so lanterns burning in the middle of the night, go watch the video I released on Friday, because we did that and it was pretty freaking cool. Anyway though, guys, big shout out to Josiah for actually hooking me up with this lantern for my birthday and shooting this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and as always, thank you for watching.